Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Learning C with the help of examples, week 3. In this week, we will take a few more examples on basic input output. So, let us begin. Let's start with the first task for the week. Now, in this task, we have to write a program to calculate the gross salary of the employee. Okay, and following things are given. So, his basic salary, his traveling allowance, dearness allowance, home rental allowance, percentages are given, and you have to calculate the gross salary based on the input basic salary. Okay, so basically what is going to happen is the user is going to enter the basic salary, and you have to add the traveling allowance, the dearness and home rental allowance based on the percentages given, and the basic salary, and find out the gross salary. Okay, so let us begin. So to start the code, I will just quickly save this file as uh, task 10. Take the snippet. I will just copy the aim and let us begin. So uh, the variables that I need is I want to calculate the I want to store the basic salary that is going to be given by the user, right? So I should have the basic salary. Now salary can be in float, so I will be having everything in float. So basic salary. Then I need, let's say, what are the things? Dearness allowance is there, then traveling allowance is there, and home rental allowance is there. And finally I want to calculate gross salary. Okay, so these are the things that I want to find out. Now, as usual, my first statement is going to be a description about the program. So salary calculator, then I will be asking user to enter the basic salary. Okay, so that is percentage f comma and basic salary, and before that I would just have a printf uh, telling the user what the user has to enter. So I would just say enter basic salary of employee. Okay, so this is what I have got. So now the calculation of the gross salary is basically I have to calculate the parameters DA, then HRA, then TA. Okay, so basically those things are some factor, some percentage, okay, sorry, some percentage of basic salary. And in the program it is given that traveling allowance is 20%, dearness allowance is 80%, and home rental is 15%. So we start with traveling allowance. So 20% is nothing but multiplied by, it is 20 divided by 100, so that it is basically 0.2 Okay, then that is my TA. Now this will be HRA will be 0.15 15%, and DA will be 0.8. Okay, so 0.8. And once I have got these things, then I can simply calculate the cross is nothing but basic plus DA plus HRA plus TA. Okay, so this is my salary. So now is the stage where I start printing the salaries. If it works, so 12,000 is the salary, and you can see that uh, it returned some error. Okay, so after looking at this, you must have understood what the error is. We have already seen this error and when does it occur. Okay, so this error means I have forgotten to add ampersand sign in the scanf. Okay, so I will just add this and compile it again. Okay, so 12,000, enter. So here it says it's everything is 0. Okay, so now why did this happen? Okay, so this is a common mistake that many students do. uh, what happens is, now you have declared this as float, and in the printf, if you look at it in the printf, what you have done is, what I have done is, I have used percentage d. Okay, so this is just to show that what happens when you have a different data type and you try to print something else. Okay, so is it possible to declare this as float and then only display integer value? Yes, that is possible. What you can do is you can just cast it as integer, and you can try to run it again. So the same casting has to be done on all the uh, elements, and you can see now I get the result. Okay, so but here only getting the integer value. Okay, but in our case the best solution will be to just replace it by percentage f. Okay, so this was just to show you what happens when you change the different data types. Okay, so if you try to print a float using a integer, or an integer using a float, then what happens? Okay, so it will give you wrong answers. Okay, so now if I run it again, you can see the results perfectly. Okay, so my everything looks perfect, but the values are not looking properly formatted, right? So what I can do is, first of all, I can do precision. Okay, so I can do two decimal places everywhere, and then what I can do is I can have a tab. Okay, so now the things should look much better. Okay, so now it looks much better, um, in a properly formatted way, right? And for an additional thing that you can do is, this is just to increase the way, to just increase the way it looks a little better. Okay, so I can simply do this, an underscore and then a slash n, just to show that it is the total. Okay, so I will just put 12,000, and you can see there is a line, and you can uh, get a separation between the basic salary and the gross salary. So that finishes up with this program. See you in the next task.